McHenry's serve handled by Penn State, and Kowal hit over by Bogner. UCLA on their side, double block. Wildman and Rose right in front on the near side for Penn State, and they get the serve right back. They're up 7-6. Champlin sending it back over to Penn State side. Bogner trying to set up Wildman, lightly tossing that one back to UCLA side. UCLA with possession. David blocked by Ezeonu. Toby Ezeonu right there to stop the hit attempt from David. Penn State back on the serve. Ezeonu going to be serving for the Nittany Lions. Has to be free ball back by Champlin. Ezeonu there. Up to Bogner near side. Fisher, and it goes off David and into the stands for the kill. Cal Fisher soaring out of nowhere, getting the kill for the Nittany Lions, tied up at 11. Norris tosses it up. His serve away, hits the net, but it goes over. Bogner setting it up for Rose, right at the Penn State logo to get the kill. Penn State up 24-19. It's set point here at Rec Hall. 21, looking for a first set victory. Clap starting here at Rec Hall. Bogner on to serve. It's handled by Knight of UCLA. Out to Partain, and a double block. Fisher and Owen Rose cap off this first set, and it's a victory for the blue and white. 25-21. What a late comeback for Penn State. Jillian Grimes back on the serve near right side. It's a line drive handled by Morbitzer. Long hit back towards Pedraza. Coming in as long dot. Penn State trying to keep it in play. The free ball back over by Balinovic. Now back towards Morbitzer, almost hit too far. Trying to save it as the Buckeyes back on Penn State side. Elisaya hitting it up, deflection up in front. Morbitzer going to try and get it back out. And a block from Allie Holland. It was hit too far from the Buckeyes, and Allie Holland is heating up with these last 2 points. Nittany Lions up 22-19. Alexa Markley back in as well as Stark's serve can go up towards the Buckeyes. Hit back over by a long dot. Penn State still with it. Elisaya out towards Katie Clark. Another kill for Katie Clark, and the Nittany Lions back up 6-3. Clark hit it right from the Penn State logo midcourt. Morbitzer serve, lofted up. It's handled by Stark. Set up for Elisaya. Holland trying to dump it in for the kill. Allie Holland ties it up and forces extra points in this one. Brett Wildman, a All-EIVA second-team member this year. We'll talk about the awards that Penn State cleaned up in their conference, and it's a service ace. It goes off Omar Hoyos along the far side, and Penn State takes a 3-1 lead. First service ace for either side.
That point.
Now a 3-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions, up 4-1 early on in this first set. Wildman serve, line drive goes off the chest of Pachinski. Now along the near side, tap back over to double block. Koval and Toby Ezeonu there to combine for the effort for the Nittany Lions, up 5-1 early. Now on a 3-0 run. Heath this time going to lob it up over. Diving stop by the Nittany Lions. Bogner to the near side. Set back by Wildman. It's on the Patriots side. Coming in is Heath. It's blocked back but kept alive by the Patriots. Far side for Hoyos. Tipped over to Penn State side. Ezeonu has to be free ball back by Fisher. It's kept alive now by George Mason. In comes Colin Heath, who finishes the long point off, and we're tied at 11. Patriots have the last 4 points. Ashenfelter again. It goes to the libero and Merck. Back to Bogner. Fisher lightly tossing that one. Puts it in the perfect spot. Cal Fisher able to get a badly needed kill for Penn State. His third on the night. Penn State still down 16-13. Owen Rose on to serve as Penn State looks for back-to-back set wins. Rose, running start. He gets the serve. Handled by Hoyos. Goes back over to Zaharev. It's back over now on Penn State side. Bogner back to Fisher. Blocked over, and it goes out of play. Penn State able to get this set 3 victory, winning 25-22 as they sit just one set victory away from a rematch with Princeton in the EIVA Championship. Welcome back inside Rec Hall for CommRadio's live coverage of the EIVA semifinals between Penn State and George Mason. I'm Logan Bourandas alongside my broadcast partner in Jason O'Connell. And Jason, this is going to be a very big and crucial third set with each team tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, you mentioned how it's going to be a big thing moving forward in this game as Penn State hasn't gone down a set. They've only lost 1 set in the regular season, and they never lost one to George Mason the 2 matches that they played. So they were in unfamiliar territory, losing the first one, but they had a great bounce back to win 25-17 in the second set, and it was led by Mr. Cal Fisher.
Penn State had only lost one set in regular season EIVA play, and that was prior to this matchup today against George Mason, and now looking to recover as we head into set number 3. And Cal Fisher has been on cruise control so far with 13 kills. He needs 2 more kills to reach 1,000 in his career.
That would be a big milestone for a centerpiece of Penn State volleyball the last few years, is that 5th-year senior from Pittsburgh.
It'll be George Mason to start out on the serve. Georgie Zaharov going to get the serve to open up for the Patriots. George Mason on the left side, Penn State opening up on the right. Zaharev's serve is away. That one goes over everyone's head. It's a service error.
Yeah, great composure there from Penn State, not to reach after it and make a hit that's not necessary. Take the easy points if the Patriots are going to give it to you.
So Penn State gets the first point in this third set, holding that 1-0 lead. Now it's Cal Fisher. We've talked about him a lot on the day. He also has a service ace to his name on the day. Fisher on the near right side. His serve, line drive. That one's a service error as well.
Yeah, rough start here for both sides. You don't want to really start with service errors. You want to try and get momentum going early. George Mason's going to try to get it now after getting a serve back here.
2 points elapsed. No action during those 2 points, however, as George Mason looking to change that. It'll be Colin Heath to serve for the Patriots. High toss from Heath. That one is alive by Merck. Going up to Bogner to Wildman. Deflected and kept alive by Wyszynski. Setting up now for Hoyo's far side. Set back but kept alive by Wildman. Fisher has to free ball that one over as Heath keeps it up for George Mason. Now Hoyos again far side. Fisher bumps that one up. It's still in the air. Now to Koval. And now Wildman has to free ball that one as well. Wyszynski yet again trying to set up for Liam French. He finishes the point off with the kill. George Mason gets the long point, and they hold a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, great effort from the diggers on both sides. They were really contorting their body, trying to make the saves, and there was multiple successful attempts, Fisher being one of them. But George Mason going to end up with a point after the misdirection.
It's Heath again. Another service error. 2 in this third set already for George Mason. We're tied up at 2 again.
Yeah, Penn State doesn't have a point off a kill attempt or as their own service ace. They haven't done it themselves with the 2 service errors from George Mason in this third set.
Yet they still end up tied through 4 points. It's now Brett Wildman to serve. On the right side, Wildman hits the net, but it goes over. It's free ball back over by George Mason, and now Wildman comes flying, and it goes off the chest of Heath and out of play for the kill. Brett Wildman gets the first kill for Penn State in this third set, and he goes back out to serve now, and Penn State holding a 3-2 lead.
That's not for the faint of heart, that kill right there. You see it all the time where Wildman winds up, he comes all the way from the back line and throws it down like he did there.
Another serve upcoming for Brett Wildman. He does have a service ace on the day. It goes straight out to Hoyos. Now at the logo, Zaharev, who hits it back over to Merck. Now Bogner, near side, Koval, lightly tapped and nearly kept alive by George Mason, but they have too many hits, and they get the kill on Penn State side. It's Koval to get the job done.
Yeah, great smart play there from Mikol Koval. It doesn't have to be vicious. It doesn't have to be brute. You can just tap it over to where there's no one in that area and get a point.
It's now a 3-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions early on in this third set. Wildman being on the serve for that entirety of it. For the 4th time in a row, Wildman's serve going to be handled by Hoyos out towards his left. Hoyos set up towards the far side, double blocked and kept alive by Penn State. Koval set back up for Bogner, now to Rose, and he gets the kill. Rose went out towards his right side, and he found a hole in the Patriot defense. It's now a 4-0 scoring run for Penn State, up 5-2.
Yeah, if you're George Mason, there's not much you can do there. Took a deflection off a blocker and to a spot where no one's at. Just shows you the aggression that Rose brought to that kill attempt that he succeeded in.
Wildman been dominant so far on the serve. His toss goes away. Heath able to get the first touch on it, and a net violation, and it goes back to George Mason's side.
A lot of those from Penn State today. They want to be aggressive. They want to get the points that are kind of midway between the net. Not sure who can get it, but they just keep colliding with that net, and it's cost them a few times over these first few sets.
It's Ashenfelter on the serve. His is lobbed over. Bogner setting up for a Koval. He sneaks it in for the kill. Koval just able to keep that one in on the far left line. He's got 2 kills in this third set, and Penn State gets the serve again, up 6-3.
Yeah, very powerful from Koval there, and precise as he found that back line open area when no one was there. Perfect placement there from him.
It'll go back to the Nassau County native in Owen Rose on the serve on the far right side. Lobbed over to Hoyos, now trying to set up for George Mason. Penn State keeps it alive as Rose free balls back over. Baczynski set up along the near side for French, and he gets it in the back line for the kill for George Mason.
Yeah, great effort for there for Penn State, trying to keep it alive, but sometimes when you just got to throw it back over, you can't get a powerful attack. You're going to get bit when George Mason comes back aggressively. Rose
subs out for Sam Marsh on the serve, as Liam French, who just got the kill for George Mason, will be on a serve. The EIVA second team member hits it out to Kowal, back to Bogner, the Penn State logo. Wildman for the kill. Effortless from Brett Wildman. And the emphatic slam gets Penn State back up 7-4.
That's an effortless. That ball comes flying out, but it just looks so natural that it seems like he's born to do this.
He's got 6 kills on the day behind Cal Fisher's 13 on Penn State's side. And now it's Bogner on to serve. He hits it out to Rose. It's hit too hard, and Cal Fisher right there to respond. And Cal Fisher now just 1 kill away from 1,000 in his career, and Penn State up 8-4.
They saw Hoyos. He's been trying to dig it up a lot there. Just too much on the dig attempt there to allow Fisher to get an easy kill.
His first kill in this third set. Bogner's serve going to be lobbed over this time. Back up to Hoyos. And Marsh tried to barrel it over. A lot of contact in front of the net. He loses the battle. And George Mason gets the point right there.
Yeah, that was another situation where George Mason put a little too much on the dig, allowing Marsh to have an attempt to get the kill, but not enough aggression. George Mason able to send it back over quickly for the point.
Gives Zaharev credit for the block as Hoyos gets his serve. Diving stop by Merck. Fisher has to free ball that one over as Zaharev gets there. And now French trying to slam it in, but Bogner right there for the stop. Setting up for Fisher, hits the net. Point goes back to George Mason's side. That could have been 1,000. Instead, it's a point for the Patriots, and Penn State still up 8-6.
Yeah, great block there from George Mason. They kind of strayed away from that in the second set. Weren't able to get the clean blocks, but maybe they're back at it again in the third set here.
Omar Hoyos back to serve again. His high toss goes straight to Wildman. Setting up Bogner. Fisher far side, and he gets the kill. That's 1,000 with an exclamation point for Cal Fisher. And it extends Penn State lead in this third set, up 9-6. Valenzi tossing that one up. It's away. It's going to be handled by Kennan. Hit up by Talamoa. Hoyos has that one blocked back. It's on George Mason's side. Up to Kennan. Hoyos tries again. It's blocked back again. Handled by Peters. And hitting that one right back is Bowles. It's on Penn State's side. Over to Fisher setting it up. And it's going to be hit right back by John Kerr. It's on George Mason's side. Hit right back over to Bowles. Blocked back by Penn State. Talamoa with it over to Hoyos. Blocked back. Kerr on the diving stop over to Fisher to Wildman. And it's still saved by George Mason. This one keeps going. Back to Bantle. Over to Fisher to Wildman again. He gets the kill this time. Toss, that one's up and away. It's going to be handled by Nelson. Goes back up to Henry Wedbush, and Harrington's kill attempt going to be brought back, and Horesco's going to have to free ball that one. It goes back to Nelson. Setting up for it is Wedbush, and that one going to be blocked, and Brady Wedbush gets the kill, and the miracle season is complete. The Princeton Tigers, in 4 sets, are your 2022 EIVA champions. Let's have a third set here in Rec Hall, as Talamoa going to set up here on the serve for George Mason to open things off. That one's underway. Lob serve handled by Valenzi. Bogner able to get there on the set, and that's hit right back by the Patriots. Looks like Bowles was able to get there first. George Mason taking a quick 1-0 lead here, as Talamoa going to be back on the serve here. Tosses that one up yet again. That's handled by Wildman up to Bogner. Cal Fisher comes in, gets the kill. Able to get that one right in front of Talamoa, and Fisher actually had a phenomenal game so far. 11 kills, and it's tied up at 1.
Fisher is a name that keeps being repeated over and over in terms of his ability to stay on the net, really keep the Patriots on their toes. he was the off-the-block server of the year last year, and he's had a phenomenal last couple of matches.
Fisher on the serve, handled by Talamoa, and slammed right back in by Testerman. Testerman came flying out from the far side to get that kill for the Patriots. They lead 2-1. We'll see Colin Heath on the serve now for George Mason, the sophomore outside hitter. Had 11 digs in the EIVA championship against Penn State last year, his serve away. That's handled by a diving Bantle up to Bogner. Coming in for the soft toss is Valenzi, and getting the point is George Mason. A lot of contact in front of the net there. Patriots lead 3-1.
Valenzi inched a little bit too close to the net there, and that's why they called the net violation on that.
Now we'll see Heath back on the serve. High toss, that one's away. Hits the net, handled by Cal Fisher. Bogner able to get there as well, and Wildman just lightly gonna bump that one back over. Talamoa with it. Hoyos trying to get there. Double block attempt failed by Penn State. Bogner able to get back there, but Marsh hit it right back. George Mason has it over to Hoyos, back to Marsh. Bogner comes slamming in. Talamoa dives to save it. Comes right back to Hoyos, and it goes out of bounds. A ton of back and forth action there in that point, but Penn State able to get it, and it's 3-2 George Mason.
That was a great save by Talamoa. He was just able to extend his one arm off of that just to be able to get George Mason a chance to return it, but it was to no avail to the Patriots.
And we're going to see a challenge upcoming here on that last point. Both sides entering the huddle.
This is now the third challenge that is being reviewed currently during this match. Seemingly that both sides agree and that simple, very small details are a big major part of this game between two very competitive opponents.
We have seen a few challenges already, and the officials looking at something on that last point, which ended in a hit out of bounds for the Patriots.
George Mason probably argues that there was a type of touch coming off of the serve, or excuse me, coming off of the attack there.
We're going to see a replay here in front of the net. You said before you'd be looking for kind of a change in the ball's direction, which you could probably tell there might be some change there.
You can also see it slightly within the hand motions. That was a very far extension on Penn State's side there.
Give Penn State back the point. So I guess whatever they were looking at is too close to call.
With the amount of power and just downforce that these athletes can get on the volleyball, it's, I'm sure, very hard to be able to find a challenge that can be obvious to the naked eye.
Now Penn State back on the serve here. It's going to be Valenzi. He's already had a great day serving the volleyball. Tosses that one up, and it's away, and just goes over the net, and that's a service ace. Another one for Michael Valenzi, and this one ties up the score at 3. Michael Valenzi's had a great day serving, like we mentioned earlier.
That being Valenzi's 4th service ace on the night. He now surpasses Cole Bogner, who has 3, just 1 behind him.
And they're the only 2 players with service aces on this Penn State team. We'll see Valenzi right back on the serve. That one's hit up. That's going to be handled cleanly by Heath. Up to Talamoa. Coming over is Hoyos. That ball high in the air in Penn State's direction. Wildman able to bump that one over. Bogner setting up. Fisher comes over. Goes right over to Heath. Back to Talamoa. Over to Hoyos. That one's tipped up. That's handled by Valenzi. Goes over to Wildman's direction. That one's tipped back up. Over to Marsh. Back to Bogner. Fisher comes flying in. Light toss. That one's going to be handled by Kennan. And Hoyos has it. And does that one stay in bounds? Yes, it does. Omar Hoyos sneaks that one in on the far side. It's now 4-3 Patriots.
That was a great setup also from his setter, Talamoa. He was able to get it just exactly within that perfect ideal line to have Hoyos come down with it.
Now on the serve is Peters, and it goes over to Bogner. Fisher comes flying in, and the block for George Mason. Hoyos was there, Hoff was there, and Bowles was there for the Patriots on the triple block. And it's now 5-3. George Mason leads in this third set.
The Patriots are going to be fired up after that block. When you deny Cal Fisher the chances of getting a point, something that he's been doing all night, it's definitely going to add motivation to your team.
Definitely not adding motivation to that team is the service error from Peters, which followed up that block. He checks out, and it's now a 5-4 George Mason lead.
It's going to be Marsh on the serve now for the Nittany Lions. Marsh setting this up, tossing the ball around. Now tosses it up, high toss, that one's away, hits the net. Back-to-back service errors now for these two squads, and George Mason takes a 6-4 lead. Now that'll set up Bowles on the serve here for the Patriots. They hold a 2-point lead early on here in this third set. That's tossed up. Bowles' serve up and away. Going to be handled by Valenzi, up to Bogner. Ezionu gets the kill. Completely freezing there was Colin Heath as Ezionu gets a strong kill to make it 6-5 George Mason.
Ezionu's kills have had the Patriots shaking in their boots a little bit in terms of how far he can hit that volleyball. It's very spectacular to have that in the middle blocker position and both the opposite hitter and outside. It's very important to this team.
Now it's Bogner on the serve. That's handled by Heath up to Talamoa, and that's going to be handled by Will Bantle. Back up to Bogner. Wildman going to toss that one up, and that's a kill. Talamoa and Peters couldn't get there on the near side, and this one's tied back up at 6.
That was a good read there. Sometimes all the power isn't needed in that particular case. Sometimes just a little tip over the net can fool your opponent as quickly and as a regular attack could.
Now Bogner on the serve for Penn State. That one's hit up, handled by Heath, goes up to Talamoa. Coming over is Hoyos, and that one's going to be handled by Valenzi. Goes over to Wildman's direction on the near side. That's blocked right back, and they will call it a Patriots point.
Another big block by the Patriots once again. Now they denied Wildman his kill attempt there. So that's a huge, huge opportunity for George Mason to stay on top of this and really get after each and every ball and stay alert as possible with those two powerhouses on the opposite side of the net.
So George Mason retakes the lead. It's now 7-6. And number 7 for the team, Omar Hoyos, on the serve, and that's going to be handled by Valenzi up to Bogner. Coming back is Fisher. That's going to be handled by Hoyos. George Mason has it over to Talamoa, back to Heath. That's a double block, but it goes out of bounds. Ezionu and Wildman both there on that far side, but it goes out of bounds in that similar direction, and it's now 8-6 Patriots.
Obvious frustration in the blocking core of the Nittany Lions. You can see the ball just ricocheted off the forearms in an awkward way to have the ball spin and go out of bounds. Just an unfortunate ending there.
Now Hoyos on the serve. It's going to be handled right back by Valenzi up to Bogner to Wildman. That sends Bowles all the way back, but George Mason still has it. It's going to be bumped all the way back up to Bogner. Ezionu fake, and Fisher gets the kill. Cal Fisher, that's number 12 on the game for the Nittany Lions. Set up by a beautiful fake by Ezionu. It's now 8-7 George Mason.